All right. Good afternoon, everyone. It's afternoon in New York. It is about 6:30 in the morning here, Hawaii time. What a day this morning. Boom goes the dynamite, right? Uh, the energy play that we set up a few weeks back is now blowing up. The Suncor's in the money. It's up about 85% on that trade. The XLE, which is the closest expiration we've got next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday, is now in the money. That's up about 7-8%. The ET is right behind. We've got that out till July. You know what I mean? And we got those cues too. We're going to give those a little bit of time. We think that market's kind of bubbling right now, that NASDAQ, the tech market. Apple's starting to show a little bit of life. Microsoft, some of your bigger names. Kind of the drag again is Tesla, right? Here we go again with Tesla. Interesting day, guys. Energy just kicked off. We've been talking about it for the last few weeks. You should have some money in energy. And if you did, it's paying off right now. If you're following the stock of the week, a couple of those stocks were the stock of the week, right? Suncor, we were talking about when it was under $20. We recommended it. ET, we recommended under $7. That thing's pushing $11 now. So there's some good plays in there. If you guys are looking for some free help, here's the place to get it. But anyways, guys, so we're going to let these digest a little bit more. We got about 2.5 hours more in the market day. We'll let these kind of come through. We like to see closing prints on the day chart before we make decisions. Other than that, it's just been great. Crypto, we made a little bit of money on that. We talked about it the last few days. We bought some ADA, which is the Cardano coin. We're holding on to that one because we think it's got some more room to run. But the dog coin we sold, we got a quick 25% out of that. That one is just like the old days, guys, with trading the penny stocks back in the 80s, 90s. You buy on the rumor, you sell on the news. You don't stick around too long. Don't marry a company. Don't marry the CEO. Don't marry the concept. Don't marry nothing. It's a quick hit and run, and that's the way we're treating it. Now, the Cardano, we're liking a little bit more, almost like the Stellar coin, the Lumen, which is XLM. You know how in the Nexo portfolio we're holding on to that. So we might hold on to that Cardano for a while and see if we can get a big gain out of it. But other than that, we're following the plan for the crypto like we talked about in that Voyager account. We traded, right? We bought $100 worth of dog coin. We sold it for $126. We took that $100, put it back in our pocket, ready for the next play. That $26, we bought Bitcoin and we sent it over to the Nexo account, which is the holding tank because it gets interest, right? And now it's compounding. So you see how we did that. We took fast, quick, volatile money and we stabilized it and we put it to work at a better job. We gave it a promotion, right? And I always tell you guys with your portfolios, do that. You have a great option play like this Suncor play. We're already up 80-something% on it. When we cash this out, what do you do with that money? What do you do with it? Do you just go flying off into some other option, more risky play, right? Options are always riskier than buying good stocks. Or do you take, say you make 80%. So now you got your 100% back, right? You got your original investment back. Say you did $100. So you got $100 back, which is what you put into the play. So now you keep that available and you find another option play, right? A little bit risk. That money has been earmarked for risk, right? But that other $80, the 80% that you made, what do you do with that? Do you just throw it into the risk? No. Take it and buy something that you really like that's going to feed your portfolio for a long time. Promote your money, right? You take your money, you put it to work. It does well. You reward it by giving it a better job, right? Now it's in Apple. It's getting great dividends. It's got consistent growth over the years. And it's something that'll work for you day in and day out, regardless. And it's not a lot of risk, right? You always see, even when we have these ugly market situations, right? When you think back over time, recessions, depressions, banking collapses, COVIDs, things like that, right? What's always come back? right? Your big dogs, right? Your Apples, your Microsofts, your Amazons, and things like that. We don't like Amazon because it doesn't have a dividend. But if you're into that kind of stock, you want to get a little coverage in that retail. Other than that, guys, there's just not a lot to talk about today. Energy just really took off. Oil is pushing towards that $70 a barrel. And that's what we've been talking about the last few weeks, right? What have we been saying? Well, we wanted to be positioned going into Memorial Day. We felt Memorial Day would be the first trigger for a massive move in energy. And it's playing out true, right? Travel just blew up. Consumption blew up. The job market's starting to look a lot better. People are back to work. There's a lot of money moving around that wasn't moving around a year ago. And guess what? It's going into corporate profits. It's going into consumption of energy, right? If you really want to get technical. So look, guys, let's go take a look at a couple charts. Why not, right? Let's start with the Bitcoin. Okay, guys, let's start with the Bitcoin to get that out of the way. Let me share screen here. There's your CNBC. We'll do a quick review of CNBC first. You know, it's interesting, CNBC. I always tell you guys it's criminal. Don't live and die off CNBC and take it with a grain of salt. You've had one of the biggest energy moves of in years, right? I mean, you've got oil at 2-year highs. You've got across the board, if you look at energy, right? Let's pop on over to the energy tab here. Across the board, you've got energy going up. Natural gas had a huge day yesterday. It's consolidating a little bit. But you've had this happen. And look, you go through CNBC's articles, not one article about it. But they've got 4 articles about AMC, right? The meme stock. So take it with a grain of salt. And here, Dogecoin surges more than 25%. Market cap grows on Coinbase listing. Guess what? We took that 25% CNBC. If you want to buy at the top, you go ahead. It's back down to 40 cents already. Anyways, listen, and that's just the lesson of this. Be careful where you get your information, okay? Some people are giving you information to get you to click and make them money. Some people are giving you information without asking you to click anything or anything at all, like I am. And there's your godless self-promotion. But let's go look at a Bitcoin chart. And this is exactly what we were talking about, right? When this was happening, we talked about it. Don't panic. Don't freak out. Wait for the capitulation and see what happens. So we got the capitulation. We called it, right? We said this was the capitulation and this was your confirmation here. And now you would just go based on your support and your resistance. That would create a channel. All this selling needs to digest before the stock can, before the asset can get bullish again. And you see what's happening. It came down to the bottom of the channel. It tried to break out, came back down. It's trying to break out again. At some point, one of these is going to happen, right? Whether it goes lower or higher. But when you're in here, and if you're a believer, if you're a bull, this is your big buying opportunity, okay? All the people here that said they sold their Bitcoin, they're buying back in, okay? Or they just don't have any money and they're done playing. So that's your Bitcoin story, okay, guys? Now, on the subject of Bitcoin, we will do a crypto show day after tomorrow. Today's Wednesday. We will do a Friday crypto show, and we'll bring you up to date on that for you guys that are following along on the crypto. You see how we did this with crypto, though, guys? And this is, well, let's get back on the track because this is the stock show. You see how we did that with crypto, guys? We didn't stop trading stocks. We didn't stop trading options. But the way we trade is we're wealth builders. We're not day traders. We're not going to sit there glued to a chart. So we're positioning, right? We get things set up. We find a good thesis. We set up for the story like we did with energy. We get it all positioned and we watch it, but we don't have to sit there for hours. We go play a little Bitcoin on the side, right? After market hours and stuff like that. We're still options traders, and that's still where we make our bread and butter. But it's a tradable asset. If you can make money on it, why wouldn't you? Whether you're a big blockchain person or not, right? That's the biggest thing we see with people. You know, we were watching, one of our members in the live room mentioned this morning that Bill Maher, how he was crapping on crypto. So we pulled up the video. And we watched it, and he was just talking crap about Dogcoin. He never mentions that guy that put $100,000 into it that now has 2 million. He never mentioned all the Bitcoin millionaires that have been made over the last 2-3 years. All they mentioned was it's fake, it's not real. It's what he's saying to you is I didn't buy it, and I wish I had, and I'm just mad at you, and I'm jealous, right? All right. So look, guys, as far as the stocks go, stay in good stocks. It's been, I talked about it. It was a rough winter for us in the options. We lost 6-7 trades in a row. We've just couldn't bite into that euphoric rally that was happening in December. It just didn't make sense. We felt that it was overdone. So we didn't bite into it. And we ended up on some short plays. And we took it in the you-know-what over that. But we're big boys and girls, and we are smart investors. So we started seeing that sideways market come around, which is what happens now. So we shortened our plays, and we started going with the indexes, the Qs, the spiders, the DIA, and things like that. XLE, right, on the energy. So we simplified it, and we started to now we're getting to a point where we're profitable for the year on options. But along the way, and we talked about this specifically with our members, and you should take this to heart too, is we're taking little pokes at stocks. And guess what? Along the way, we had some option plays that got us some great stocks. About a year ago, right? We got that SPICE for free on that option play where we bought the $20 calls. It ran all the way up to $30, $40, $50. We were selling contracts and using the profits from that to exercise contracts and getting the stock at $20, which actually is free stocks. It looks like it cost you $20 in your portfolio, but the money was free from the options, right? So we got the SPICE, right? And what was it, 2-3 weeks ago? Remember when Branson sold his shares of SPICE? Then Kathy Wood, right? Miss Petulant jumped on it, and she sold all her shares at like $16. And now we're sitting on a $32 stock again. Patience, patience, patience. Stick with your thesis, right? And the whole reason for that was we didn't buy that stock. We didn't hold that stock because of Richard Branson. We held that stock because we were waiting to see. We wanted to see it get closer to where the business model came to fruition, and that was the testing for the flights where they create the revenue. Guess what? We sat through that little debacle. Some of our members actually added to their positions, and guess what happened? Well, it went right back to $30, $35. And the reason was the test was successful. It moved towards profitability. So it's that simple, guys. We just got some Ford, right? We had those $13 Ford calls. We actually had to roll those from $12 because we weren't going to give up. What was the thesis behind that? Think about it, guys. When we bought those 12s right before the earnings came out. The earnings were blowout earnings, but there were some key things said, right? One, there's going to be a chip shortage that it's going to cut production by 50% in the second quarter. Two was that chip problem would start resolving itself in the middle of the second quarter. So we didn't panic. We didn't sell. We didn't go into like this Bitcoin fury and stuff. Oh, I got to sell my Bitcoin. We got to sell my Ford. What we did was we looked at it logically, and we stuck with our thesis. We understood that, hey, guess what? We were in the middle of the second quarter when that earnings report came out. So why sell into that nonsense? And guess what? It paid off. Ford's now $14.50. And same thing, we converted some of those $13 calls into stock. So now you've made money on some options, and you took one or two of those options. You put $200, 200 shares in your portfolio of a stock at $13 that's now trading $1.50 higher. There you go. Look, if you want to trade nonsense, you're in the wrong show. We're very logical and very legible traders. So, and if you're interested, click the link below and go see the video. And if you want to become a member, come on, become a member. But for the most part, guys, trade smart. Stay above the emotions. One of the key things that we did in this period was, and I think you can see it, is we did not bite into emotion. We stayed emotionless. We had a thesis, and we stayed very scientific, right? What's the big joke about scientists? They're nerds, right? They have no emotions and stuff. They're just numbers, numbers, numbers. Well, that's how you got to trade too. You can't bite into the CNBCs. You can't bite into the whatever it is, whoever's out there, some great, look at Jamie Dimon. Okay. Yesterday, right. We came out with another, I think it was Morgan Stanley, right? Jamie Dimon. They came out and they said their big clients are not buying the Bitcoin dip. That should tell you right there. Their big clients are buying the damn thing hand over fist. Because ask yourself too on news. Does it make sense? Does it make sense that one of the biggest money managers in the world is telling their are taking their most valuable clients and giving away what these clients pay for? Why would they tell you what these clients are doing, right? Oh, I put $5-10 million with Morgan Stanley and they're telegraphing my activities to the public. That doesn't make sense, does it? I mean, it just makes sense. Keep your emotions out of it. Always have a thesis and always have a plan and always stick to it. Okay, guys? And with that, let's close the show. Actually, let's go look at the charts for those energy plays just to have a little fun here. Since this is kind of a quick show. Let me pop on here. I got a water bottle in my way. Let's go look at a chart. So let's get that handsome guy out of the way. There's your Suncor chart. And you can see we're way over that strike now. And that thing's just blasting. It's up about 3% today. It's pushed 25. It's even started moving to that mid 25, maybe 26 level. That's just getting started. We have the $25 contracts out till September. That's how much time we have to decide on this. We're already up 80-90%. ET is the other energy play, right? Now we're sitting on some 12s, but we're all the way out to midsummer on those. And look at that chart. That's a beautiful chart. Kind of like what I talked about the Bitcoin chart and other charts, right? You see how it's building a base there. And we marked the support there, right? It's got good support at $10 and you can see it, right? Kind of goes up, kind of goes down, kind of goes up. And what's happening is it's digesting a little bit. It's getting its strength. Just like when you try to jump straight up as high as you want, right? What's the first thing you do? You go into a big crouch, right? You get those springs nice and tight, and then boom, you spring to the sky. That's happening there. You see, it's getting there. It's getting to the crouch, and then boom, you have a day like today, and it's all through. ET. Or not ET, XLE. See, don't let your emotions get to you when you're doing a show. Same thing, right? We talked about how that was resistance at that 54.50, and it tried once and it failed. It tried twice and it failed, but we knew on the third try it would blow through. You see that green line? That's where we're at the strike. And it's just rolling now. And that's your energy play, right? Now the Qs have been bouncing up and down. Let's go take a look at the Qs chart just to share some little chart knowledge with you here. Let's pull up a chairs. What did we use for the Qs chart? Well, the Qs had that big sell down the week that the Bitcoin, right? Remember, everything just went into the crapper. So we put a Fibonacci on it and we saw it bounce, right? It set support at that 38% level here. Then it started to run up to the 61 and it failed, but it retested and confirmed that support at 38. So we didn't panic, right? And then next time it went up to the 61, it took that out and it went right up to that 333. Why aren't we panicking now? Look at what it's doing at that 78% level. It's holding real strong. So it's just, again, what's it doing? It's crouching down to spring up higher. And there's no reason to believe it's not going to do that. Now, if it fails here and comes back down there, we'll get out of the play because it's failed and it's confirmed the failure. But don't believe anything until it confirms, right? Don't believe anything. And so we'll stick with that. We're just sitting at that, right at that top of that blue line with those options. And that could be just a big move, get us to there real quick. So you see how we use the charts. Just use the charts, keep your emotions out of it, and enjoy your trading. Now, that's the biggest thing, guys. Look, and I talk about this all the time. Even in your bad days, when you got a little red in your portfolio, or maybe you did a couple plays, like think about how we were back in January. We just came off 6 losses in a row. You know what I mean? God knows members are mad and things like that. But we never changed. We never let our emotions get into us. We never changed our philosophy. We never changed our system. We just kept doing what we do because we know the way we do things over time, always, we've never had a losing year. We have never had a whole year where we've lost. So all that tells you is on something like our system, if it's down in the beginning of the year, you're just going to have a raging year. And by mid-year, what are we? We're just starting June here. Last month of the second quarter, by the way. And everything's just come back together, right? And everything's just wine and roses now. So don't let your emotions get to you, and don't let outside influences get to you. Okay, guys. And look, let's call it a show. Okay, guys, go enjoy your hump day. That's what we're going to do the rest of the day. And we'll be back tomorrow morning with another morning update. Hope this helped you guys with some charting and stuff like that. If it did, you know what to do, right? Either subscribe or whatever. Share it with somebody that you think might be able to use the information. All right. Okay, guys. And don't forget, Friday we will be doing a crypto show. Okay, guys, and we'll go over in detail because we've kind of adjusted as the we're into that second, third month of our crypto adventure, and we've kind of adjusted some things going forward, and we'll talk about that in the crypto show specifically. All right, guys. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.